So the first thing we do is make an A pose with our MetaHuman, and we have to do that in level sequence. So let's go ahead and select under MetaHuman, Control A to put it in the track. And then what we want to do is try to make this posture as much of an A by just using rotations. The shoulder can go a little bit down. Now this is optional, but this is good to do to set up for Marvelous Designer for simulation and for fitting of clothes. Okay, so now once we get that set up, go ahead and select the controllers that we manipulated and then press S to key and press this close bracket. And let's go ahead and bake the animation sequence. Okay, and we'll just call it A pose export. Okay, so now we have our A pose. So let's go back to sequencer, delete the controllers, and as you can see, we go back to our neutral. So let's go back and get our A pose. There it is. And let's go ahead and select the medium in here, actor, and let's create a static mesh. And this is for our base model in Marvelous Designer. We'll come back to that later. There's our base mesh. We can go ahead and just delete the rest of this. All right. So yeah, it kind of changed there, but that's okay. Okay, now from here, let's go back to sequencer. And from 0, let's go out a little bit, maybe 45. And let's add your choice of animation, which is in my case, lift. Play it. There you go. But let's go ahead and add a control rig. Okay, so as you can see, you're not seeing animation here because we forgot to spread out the closing bracket. So let's put the closing bracket right here. And now we can get our animation. But let's undo everything first. And let's put our close bracket over here. Let's go ahead and get that controller rig one more time. And now we get all the animation keys. Okay, and from here, let's delete the second key all the way to the last before our animation. And now you'll see a transition from A pose to your animation. Let's go ahead and bake this now. And we'll make this our main animation that we will use. We'll just call it lifting. Okay, so if we go back, there's our lifting animation. Let's go ahead and duplicate this twice by pressing Control D. And we'll make this face. Duplicate it again, Control D. And let's make this slippers. Go ahead and rename this body. Okay, so we have 3. And then from here, let's go ahead and right click button, replace the skeleton, and let's replace it with a face. Okay, now let's go and open, and as you can see, it's not my MetaHuman face. So let's go ahead and stop, and just click here, then open here, and as you can see, it's not showing. So let's do the face, right click button, replace skeleton, and you should see 2. Use the one that has Game MetaHuman's common face, okay? If you don't see that, you might have to pick this one, and then press OK, and then just do another right click and replace it with Game MetaHuman. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace it. And when we open it, as you can see, there's animation, but it's not my MetaHuman face. So what we can do is just go ahead and click this and just put my MetaHuman face. And now it's important that you apply to asset and then save. And now we have our face MetaHuman with animation. Okay, now for the slipper is a tricky part. You can't replace this with anything because there's no, there is this flip-flop skeleton. So if we do use this, and when we open it, there's no animation because we're not using my MetaHuman bone. To fix this, we'll go to our MetaHuman edit blueprint and click the feet. Let's find the slipper and let's go ahead and export this slipper. Okay, so I'm just going to export my desktop as it is. Reset to default, just uncheck level of detail. No need for preview mesh. Now that we exported it, let's import it back. Okay, import settings, skeletal mesh. Use my MetaHuman base that I used for my MetaHuman, and go ahead and no need to import materials or textures, and then import. And as you can see, we have our slippers. We don't need this one. Or let's go ahead and right click, replace skeleton, MetaHuman base, the same one that I used for my slipper. And then let's go ahead and open this, click here, and let's find our slippers. And don't forget to apply to asset and save. Okay, so when we open it, there's our animation in our slippers now. So that's good. Let's go ahead and select the 3, slipper, face, and body. And let's go ahead and export it to Marvelous Designer. So reset to default, and what you want to do is go ahead and just uncheck level of details and go ahead and do export preview mesh. Okay, and the same thing for the face and the same thing for the body. Now for that A pose that we created for the whole body, now let's go ahead and export that as well. And this will be our model, our base model for Marvelous Designer. Reset to default, and what you want to do is take out level of detail and same thing. So now what we'll do is open Marvelous Designer and import our model base body. So just go ahead and drag it in here and make sure this is your setting, centimeter, and OK. So here is your base. Go ahead and just use this base to add your clothes. Okay. Let's go ahead and simulate, and we'll stop there. Okay, so we'll use this. You don't have to click anything, and go ahead and just save as avatar first. And I already saved it. I'm just gonna replace it. Go ahead and let's save the garment. And I already made one earlier, so I'm just gonna replace it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this one that I saved earlier, same process. So what this does is that now when you start a new project, you can always use that base that we downloaded, and it's found here. Okay, so if you wanna put a new clothes, you can by using this. And the best part about saving the garment here is that when you have a new animation, you don't have to keep putting clothes on with different posture. You just start with the A posture and then just click on the same clothes. That way, when you simulate the animation, it's faster. And now, there it is. So, for example, let's import our animation. So to do that, let's start with the body. Okay, so body, same settings. Okay, and next, let's go ahead and add the face. Same settings. Now we just need the slippers. Slippers. There you go. Alright. So now when we look at it, let's go ahead and play. So from A pose to our animation. As you can see, the animation was fast. Let's fix that by changing this to real time. So when we play it again, that's normal right there. So as you can see, we have our animation. Let's go ahead and put in the clothes. We don't have to struggle by putting it on again because we had an A pose that we started with. So that's the convenience of making an A base to put on your clothes and starting your animation. So now what we can do is go ahead and record our simulation. Okay, so you can see there's a little mess there, but you get the idea. So now what we want to do, if you want to transfer this to Unreal, you don't have to click anything and just go Export Alembic Clothes Test and save. And then choose Thick, Unified. You can do 4K and choose the textures you want to export as well. And keep this as centimeter and play region only. Here's the textures that I exported. Import our Alembic here. Make sure you put it to Geometry Cache. Change this to 30. Import. Okay, so there's our clothes simulation. Yeah, looks good. Alright. So now let's go ahead and put this into our scene. And since our MetaHuman is at 0, we'll put this at 0. And let's open our sequencer. Let's go back from the beginning. So we're all aligned. Get our clothes into the track. We could do that and Control A. And just add the geometry cache. And there you go. When we play, yeah, there's our simulation. But the problem is, as you can see, our skin is poking through the shirt. So to fix this, go to your MetaHuman blueprint and select the body and disable post process. So when we play it, there you go. It solved the issue, no more poking. And that's it.